Now that we have layouts all figured out, let's work on doing some labeling and clean some great images up that we get out of Soar. So what I've got here is a QGIS project, very simple at this point. I've got OpenStreetMap base data at the bottom through my XYZ tiles. And I've gone into the Soar browser and found this space export of Long Beach image that I like, that Harry Stranger uploaded from June of 2023. And you can see we've got the image here, right? So this is great. Doesn't really give you much information though, right? If I turn off, ideally we want to zoom in and have, something like this showing, the imagery showing. And, we've got some other information in here, right? But that the image doesn't show. So we could use the visual collaboration tools if we wanted to just put some quick labels up. That's fine. That will put it up on the internet. But what I'm thinking is let's add some of these labels that we have in OpenStreetMap and build a layer that we can reuse over and over again, adjust, and do it the right way, I guess is the best way to put it. So what I'm going to do is going to go to this new shapefile layer and click that, and you'll get this functionality here. I'm going to call this Soar test, and we'll save that documents. That's fine, just so I know where it is. We'll leave the coordinate system the way it is. This is going to be a point file, and everything else is fine. I'm going to add in label there in the new field, and then it's a text string. That means I'm going to add text into it. And then hit the adds to fields list. So now you're going to have in your attribute table, your Excel table of all of your points and your labels, you'll have something called label, and we're going to use that to do our labeling. So just hit OK there, and now we have this empty label file, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it and hit the pencil icon here, the toggle editing button, and hit the add point feature button, and I'm going to label this park here, right? This is the gull park, right? So I'm going to put a label right in the middle of this thing. So I will hit the add point feature, put a dot, a click right in the middle, and what we have here is this is telling me this is the point, the feature attribute, the point that I'm going to put down there. I'm going to call it Gull Park and type it in there, and nothing has really happened. That's fine. What we're going to need to do next is right click properties, go to labels. We're going to hit this top one to go to single labels. Nothing fancy. Based on the value of label, we created that just a second ago. And we'll turn this color to like an off-white so we can see it better on the ortho photograph. We'll leave it as aerial, regular style. We can adjust that if we want to, but for now this is fine. I'm going to actually make it a little bit bigger, make it 12 point, just so we can see it better. So there's your Gull Park, right, with the dot there. If I wanted to get rid of that dot and kind of center everything, I'm going to go to label, placement, offset from point. That's going to put the dot right underneath the text. And then in symbology, I'm going to click on the second one, the simple marker, set that size to 0, and then you don't see that dot anymore. So now we just have Gull Park as a point, and that's stuck to the earth. That has a coordinate to it, right? If I move the map around, the text is going to follow it, right, all the time, which is really the way to do this, right, because that represents where Gull Park should be. If I want to move it, I'll use this vertex tool. I'll click on that, and then as I get close, I'll get this bullseye, so I can click on it and then move it down wherever I really wanted to put it. It would move. If I want to adjust it later, that's fine. I can do it. Just takes another step, which is good because you're not going to make mistakes moving things. When you're done and you have everything the way you want it, you click that pencil again, the editing tool, and you hit save that, and it saves it right in there. So I might I'm going to do a little bit more, probably skip through it for the sake of time, but let's do some more labeling. All right, that should do it. We've got some extra labels. You know what? I want to do one called Long Beach Middle Harbor. Here's a little trick. Let's say I want to do a carriage return on this Long Beach Middle Harbor. What I'm going to do is go in and edit it. I'm going to edit the attribute table directly. So I'm going to right click Soar Test, go to Open Attribute Table. Get that so you can see it. And I want to put a carriage return, so I'm going to put a pound sign in there and be done. So now, okay, you can see that pound sign, and that's a little weird. That's, we don't want that. But if we go back into the properties of the labels, and I go to labels here, and I go to formatting, and it says wrap on character, I'm going to put that pound sign in there. Hit apply and OK. And now wherever it sees a pound sign, it's not going to print the pound sign, but it's going to do a carriage return. So that's one way to do it. That's great. And that it always keeps it as a 12-point font too, right? No matter how much I zoom in and out. So that's a way to do some quick labeling. Now you can get pretty fancy, and there's a lot of options here, and you could dig into this more. But if you want to do some quick labels, just to get you started, this is a great way to do it. And when you're done, you click off it, click Save. It saves that. Right-click, Export, Save Features As. I'm going to save it as a shapefile. It's going to go into Documents. That's fine. Call it Test or whatever you want. And there we go. We'll overwrite that file. This is the one we had already created. So there, and that's it, right? So now you have a shape file. It's going to be shown in 6 or so different files underneath that in that location, but it's all one file. That GIS can figure that out. So that's, if you want to use that in another project, if you're 6 months later, you come back and you want those labels again, you've got them there. And it's more of an advanced way to do labeling. Use the visual collaboration tool if you just want some quick labels that you can kind of move around easily. But if you want to do something more, paper-based, and then take that and export it into a layout, what we've shown you in a previous lecture, then you can really, get somewhere and have it on paper, nice title, north arrow, scale bar, things like that. Turn into a real professional looking map. That's how you do it with the labels. All right, go for it.